Well, we are going to take you guys to a special place. It holds a dear spot in my heart. Can you zoom in up here, babe, and show them where we have driven 1,900 miles to get to? Right up here. So you guessed it, because we showed you the sign. We're going to visit our friends at Super Vel, and they have had a ton of stuff going on the last year. We're going to show you what they got going on in the secret lab. New loading equipment, making bullets, coming up with some hot new stuff to feed your blasters. Come on in, let's go. Where are you going? Why are you leaving?
I got stuff to do.
Oh, okay, we'll leave it at that. On the wall at my house. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com. We're back at Super Vel outside of Las Vegas. You guys have seen videos of us here over the years, and this is your current newest location.
Yep, yeah, we moved in September of 2025.
Big Mike Stoker, president, what is that, your title?
Yeah, president, co-owner.
President, co-owner, master repairman at Super Vel. What are you going to show us today?
Yeah, we want to show you guys a little bit of the new stuff. So, new location, we have full retail. We were able to bring in a lot more vertical integration and bullet manufacturing. Our suppressor company, Hush Puppy Project, we brought in all of our suppressor manufacturing in-house as well. And just lots of new stuff, more machinery, more people, and more fun going on.
So we're going to go in the back. There is bullet making going on, suppressor making going on, ammunition getting made, loaded up, shipped out, and it's quite impressive. It's not like 2 or 3 machines. It's, how many square feet you got here?
It's like almost 30,000.
Okay, so it's, you know, a little tiny place with a guy with a hand press. Let's go check it out. Wow. So I'm going to talk up a little bit. Hopefully it won't sound too annoying to you over the equipment. What do we got going on here, man?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Most of the stuff in the middle, all the blue machines, are loading, cam decks, alpha loaders, priming. And then everything behind that is raw material, projectile manufacturing, and then in the back is all the brass sorting and processing on the remanufacturing. And over in this area we'll show is fulfillment and quality control.
You used the word integration when we were up front in the retail store. You're referring to integrating, like instead of buying bullets, you're making bullets.
Yeah, so we learned that lesson the hard way during COVID. You know, when we outrun supply or demand goes crazy, supply chain falls short. We can't grow as a business if we're waiting on other vendors. And we're learning it right now with Iran on bullet supply. So this was perfect timing for us because bullet suppliers, we typically load enough ammunition weekly and monthly to where most bullet manufacturing companies can't keep up with us. So we're now making the majority of them in-house, and we're continuing to grow that. We started that here in September. We've got a lot more machinery coming. So right now we're producing our 124 and our 147s in-house. We have the ability to do all of them. We're just doing what our other vendors can't as we wait on new machines, but by fall we'll be making all of our.
Can we see that?
Yeah, we'll show
Let's
it
go.
all to you. Shaking more. Oh. That'll do it. Yeah. Yeah, so behind us here we have a Waterbury Furl 5.8 press. This is making our 124 grain FMJ bullets right now. He's making about 90,000 of them in a shift, so it's pumping them out.
So 90,000 bullets per shift. This copper is becoming the jacket. You got lead over there. what is this, like a 5-year-old machine?
No, this machine was built in 1942.
Wow.
So we love old school stuff, renovating it, bringing it back to modern time, and it's simple and it works great.
We stopped in last week. Mike, they have a machine shop here we'll show you. Had to rebuild parts because you can't stop at the Home Depot or Ace Hardware and buy parts for that thing. So they were building parts to make the thing keep working. That's cool. What's he doing?
147 FMJ. So that's the JHP machine. It has more stroke. So we can do, we could do rifle bullets, but it's mainly doing 147 grain and 124 JHP. It's got more stations, so that can only go up to 124 because it's shorter stroke. This is Dexter. He's our head engineer.
Hey, Dexter. He was bragging about you the other day.
All good things. So this is the one where the clutch and motor assembly and everything went to shit. So Dexter got it back together. Now we're just checking everything over, and
the part that you guys made is working.
Yeah, well, it is. We just are checking some other stuff. We're getting a little bit of lead shave off, so we're trying to figure out. The guy who runs this comes in at 5 a.m. So we want to go through it and make sure it's good. So when he shows up at 5,
you mean you can't go on like YouTube and figure out how to run this bitch?
Trial and error. We just say it's an open engine, cams, bearing, oily, and it's.
What does it weigh?
Not bad, maybe 3,500 pounds, I think. Yeah. Close to like 3,500 pounds.
Amazing.
The one we have, it's about a 1010. So 510 is 5 ton 10 station. That's 5.8, 5 ton 8 station. I just bought a 1010, 10 ton 10 station. So it'll be quite a bit bigger.
What will that do better than this?
A little more stability and weight. They're not as fast. Has a little bit more stroke length. So like 147 JHP, 158. If you want to do rifle bullets.
What's that?
That's a heavy draw. So basically that's coming down and dripping on the copper so you don't wear out your punches, your cutters.
Keeping everything greased up.
Moves it up. To help with the wear life. Pretty thick viscosity.
This is the part that you were fixing, right?
Yeah, so this motor's from 1944. So basically it's a centrifugal clutch. You have base spring up here off this initial pulley, and as you turn your speed up, the clutch discs are going to compress and pinch the belt. The lower drive is a bronze spline that goes over a shaft, and it's completely stripped and rounded out. So I had to pull the motor, basically pull everything, new belts. Those parts, just for those discs, there's like 2 in the country, is $2,500 for one piece of cast disc.
One of the reasons I want folks to see this stuff is, I guess if you have no idea about how bullets and ammunition and the components are made, you think it should cost a certain thing. Keeping machines working from pre-World War II, it's got to be super cheap. So this is interesting. We're over here in 1940, and now we're going to super high-tech modern stuff.
Which, there's bullet presses that are high-tech. You're going to spend 5 times as much. They all break, but then you can't fix it yourself. So at least this stuff we can fix ourselves.
Look at that, the old Scout 320. I don't know what that means, but it looks pretty badass. Ooh. This is all going to become the monolithic solid coppers, right?
Yeah, right now we're doing 9 mil, 115 grain, 6 pedal solid copper monolithic.
The stuff I carry.
Yep.
Again, why doesn't it cost 2 cents? Because laser beams in the old tri-mist. What's a tri-mist?
So that's a mist collector. All the mist that comes up, it pumps it through filtration.
What do you got?
So this is the finished projectile. So it's taking it from solid bar, full turning it. out to the finished projectile.
How is that better? And we don't need to do a deep dive. How is that better than what we saw being made on the old bimetal bullet machine as far as terminal performance in soft tissue?
So solid copper being monolithic, it's one piece. It's not going to separate. A cup and core, two-part like we showed over there. Your jacket can separate from your lead core. Monolithic, you're not going to have that. By Swiss turning it, we can do a lot more technical design stuff. This bullet here is pretty simple expanding bullet, but we can simple adjustments in programming change how much it expands, how thick the petals are, when it expands. There's a lot more that we can do with it.
You got rifle calibers as well.
Yeah, so we've done our 300 blackout, a whole new design on that. We're doing the solid copper. We need to do some 357. We'll do some 44 mag, and then we're developing a new 62 grain solid copper dynamic impact 3-pedal design. That's going to be pretty sweet. That actually will start up in the next week and a half.
What's going on over here on the VF4?
So this machine right now, Aiden, what are you doing in here? Cores?
Yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Turn the door sensors off for you.
Nice. So right now, this machine is making the parts of the suppressor for the Hush Puppy.
Yeah, so we can show the lathe and the process, but we're taking solid bar, spinning it, knurling it to here, threading it. Aiden's feeding this machine, which is then taking it and pocketing it for your O-rings, your wipes. This is a wipe suppressor.
And wipe suppressors are about as quiet as they get.
Yes. Yeah, so this is Hush Puppy stuff. All three of these machines are doing some variant, whether it's end caps, turning the tops, all different stuff.
So the wipe coupled with your Hush Puppy ammunition,
Yeah,
these things
they're designed, purpose-built for each other.
very quiet, ridiculously quiet.
Yeah, on a decibel reading, basically brass hitting the ground is louder than the...
The first time I heard it, I thought it was fake. Literally.
Yeah. We did an airsoft side by side. The airsoft gun's louder.
That's crazy.
But
bits and pieces. I love seeing this.
so this is taking solid bar. Here, if you come back here.
So which part of the suppressor is being made here?
Yeah, so this is taking from the solid aluminum bar stock and turning the tubes down. So right now he's doing cores. So the solid piece that I showed you over there, he's turning it out to this from solid bar. There's really basically going to be three parts: your core, your white magazine, and then the actual external sleeve, like on a suppressor body. All of it goes through here. It's kind of the first step.
I love it. I love it. You work like 2-3 days a week, a couple hours a day?
Lately, 3 a.m. to 6 p.m. But
Mike's laughing because I know that he works like a dog. But check this out. All of that is going to become bullets, or the jacket on a bullet anyway.
yeah.
So this is almost the finished product.
Yeah, so that's the core we showed over there. After the O-rings have been installed, the wipes have been installed. Now it just needs to go on the outer sleeve and get the end cap
Can
put
I
on.
show a wipe?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you guys make these here. The projectile actually goes through this, not like a regular suppressor. How many are in there? 5 of them?
6.
6 of them. So they're stacked up. You can see them here. If you look into it, the bullet's punching through there, and they're stopping that sound from escaping.
Now here's the end caps.
And that gets screwed on the end?
Yep, so that's, we put the adapter for your barrel to thread on, and then all one piece. we're shipping quite a few of these out right now, so good.
Can we see some ammunition getting put together?
Yeah. I don't know what's actually running. This was running this morning and
What's John making?
John's, I don't know what he's fixing stuff right now.
Oh, he's fixing stuff. What are you doing up there, John boy? See ya. Little candy machine. Are you willing to say how many projectiles or cartridges you make every week or month?
So right now, typically in normal times, we'll probably do about 650 to 700,000 a week on reman. With the Iran stuff, we're about 1 million right now a week.
1 million rounds.
Just in reman, and then new will, depending on supply chain. Brass is the one thing we're not making in-house yet, but we will be. A couple 100,000, that's just on 9 mil. And then obviously, we have the same number of rifle machines as we do pistol.
We've talked about it 100 times over the years. Some people, I think from back in the old days, think remanufactured is junk. I've always tried to explain it my way. If people are buying your reman and ammunition, explain why it is as good or better as buying another brand's new ammo.
Yeah, so most people, when they think reman, they think someone at home on a hand press doing it. The process of prepping the brass is what makes the difference. And the machinery you run it through, the multiple sizing to get the brass back to factory new spec, and then if it's not, it's rejected. We're probably one of the only companies that fully warranties our ammunition as well, but we can do that because we don't have failure rates and we stay on top of how we load. So we hold our standards in the processing, the crack case checking, the sizing, and everything we do when we first get the reman brass. And we're really big on sourcing true once-fired brass. We don't want stuff that's off the range, been shot 10 times already.
I always remind people, and I know you know this, people say, well, it's been once fired. The best long-range shooters on the planet will shoot brass over and over and over again. And like a hot rifle round is getting way more abuse than a puny 9mm or a 45. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so a typical well-built 9mm case, you can easily 10 times reload. Our goal, obviously, is to not do that, is to get it on its first or second time at most. But yeah, your 9mm SAMI pressure is 35,000 PSI. 5.56 is 55,000 PSI. Most of your common loads are in the high 20s, like your plinking ammo. It's not putting too much stress on the case. Our sizing process, if there is cracks or deformities, the system's rejected. So we scrap a lot of the amp brass that comes in to weed out what we want to load. So it's held to that standard of quality. And then we have quality checks throughout the entire facility. So if there is issues, it doesn't leave. And if it ever does leave, we make it right. So that's rare.
I dig it. Something I notice in a lot of industries, the guy running the show maybe doesn't do the thing he's making or selling. You shoot?
Yeah, all the time.
You're a Grandmaster USPSA shooter. You've got a background in management, but this is stuff you actually care about. Talk about your core values a little bit.
Yeah, so our core values are huge as a company myself. They've always been my personal core values in any business I've owned, but we require all of our employees to embody the same thing. We kind of put our money where our mouth is. We hire shooters. I mean, there's another Grandmaster, there's another one. Most of our staff are active in competition shooting, tactics, training, self-defense, so they build a purpose behind what they're actually doing. It's not just Joe Schmo making ammo. They understand it could be used to save a life, take a life, win a competition, or you know, a daughter's first time shooting a handgun type thing. So there's a lot of pride, and our core values kind of embody all of that with the level of pride and excellence we want in everything that we do.
Interesting thing, the guys test firing this stuff, doing it, are top 1% of shooters on the planet.
Yeah.
Not just some nerd, and I'm not being mean, at a company that just cares about getting product out the door. These guys get it.
Yeah, no, they're going to be on the range using it, and if people have issue, they're going to get talked to about it. They're going to make it right. So by requiring our staff to an extent to shoot and train and be involved, it helps them further understand the importance of all the little intricate details of why it matters. A common person might see what we would say is defect and not realize, but if the 1% can use it, whether it's reman winning a national world title, which our reman has, or our factory new, they get that level of attention to detail.
Go back to that, I forgot about that. So the guys, the pro shooters using Super Vel, they're winning local matches, but talk about the other matches that they've won.
Yeah, so we have multiple national titles and worlds. Like this year we provided all Team USA's ammo, and it was all remanufactured all the way to Worlds. Worlds was factory new at Worlds, but Team USA was all shooting it on the women's, the men's, the team shooting, all the top placement. So from 1 to 20, I think 15 people from first place to 20 in the world were shooting our loaded ammunition right here on these machines. So
that seems good enough for me, homie. Can we see some of it get boxed up?
Yeah. Chris, is this 147?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
You love your job?
Oh yeah.
Do you love your boss?
Yeah. They looked at me before they said it. Yeah, so Chris right now is doing a 147 grain hush puppy. I think he's at the end of a lot, so he's probably clearing out to do a changeover. Every round in the facility goes through a chamber check block. Check blocks are custom made for the minimum chamber specification. So if it passes this, it'll pass.
So this is the final check before it goes in the box.
Yes. If it's packaged, obviously it'll be in trays. If it's bulk bagged, a lot of consumers on the reman, they don't want to deal with boxes. You'll see the 500 count bags a lot. We do both for new reman and everything.
Every single round, they run back through, making sure it's going to fit in your chamber.
And if it doesn't, it ends up in here.
So what do you think happened? How did those slip this far?
So simple stuff like primer pocket.
Oh.
So that's an oversized pocket. I mean, it's gaping. Look at that thing. So there's some level of checks, but primer will pop out. That's a failed check. So now that's a snap cap technically. Crack case, any other issues that'll happen where if it fails a chamber or is a cosmetic, we reject it. Cosmetics go to the employees for training. So part of working here is every quarter we go through a pallet of ammo that we've rejected and dispense it amongst the employees so they can
These
get out
guys and gals can shoot it.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a nice perk. That's like free cheeseburgers. I wanted to make sure I stopped here on my trip out to show you guys how far Super Vel has come to keep making this kind of awesome stuff come to your door. What's this machine doing? Priming the 9?
Yeah, that's priming 9mm.
You guys all have one of these in your garage, don't you? Probably not. What's a machine like that go for on the open market? 50 bucks, 60 bucks?
No, right now, last quote, because I need 2 more of them, was 110,000 for one of those. He'll prime about 100,000 pieces a day.
Besides all of this, what costs go into ammunition that people just don't think about? Besides keeping the lights on and heating and cooling and, you know, like just, because people think it's just this little thing. It should just be like a nickel.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to it. I mean, your labor to higher quality labor is not cheap. The standards, you know, everything we do, the machinery is not cheap. The raw materials, when you're buying it on this level, you're buying it by the millions and millions of pieces. The freight right now, fuel up, the raw material costs, the raw component costs, it all stacks up and adds up. And if you do it the right way, you know, I could turn all those on and have 2 guys run them. A lot of companies do that. But if you watch every loader, they're quality checking as they're measuring, as they're loading. That costs money to have that quality of a product. So there's a lot of little costs that stack up in the manufacturing.
I'm gonna load these up in my truck. Go home. Ooh. Some 300. So all of that's orders headed out to customers that have bought online?
Yep.
Or your dealers?
Ordered online and going out. Yeah, let's come my way. I'll show you guys the retail store real quick.
Oh, cool. So people can come in and actually purchase your stuff right here.
Yeah, if it's in, a lot of it's selling through. So each morning we restock the shelves, restock everything down here. And as you can see, all the 9 mils already pretty much gone for the day.
So folks know, like right now, I know you've been sounding the alarm, and I hate saying it because I see other YouTube-y people like, stop saying that to sell ammo. But you've been saying, hey, I've been watching you. You guys are probably the biggest in this space of loading, if we're not talking about the monster international companies. So you know what the stuff in these boxes cost. You're tracking it. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of the, I mean, costs been going up with everything going on with Iran. We do our best not to fearmonger. Our thing is to alert. We look at our community as like family. So anytime I do a video or we send out a newsletter, it's saying like, don't panic, we're doing our best, here's where we're at, here's what we're working on, here's our lead time, here's what's available. We'll let you know if we're ever gonna raise price, we'll let you know ahead of time. And we just try to be transparent. Most of our employees are our customers too, and we're all kind of family, so that's the way we treat the customer base. But there has been obviously a run on ammo, and the retail, we see it every day. Once we open, people come in, buy what we put out. Same thing on the website, on the consumer side. Most people think that we love the crazy demand and craze time. I like stability, but the munitions market's usually not that, especially if
you just want to make ammo, sell it, make ammo, sell it. You don't want to have to chase to try to find the stuff you need to make it.
Yeah, demand. Supply always outruns demand in times like these. But that's why we work to further vertically integrate so we can keep up with what we do, and then just do our best to be transparent with what we actually have, what we can actually ship, and we're able to produce.
So one of these days, Super Vel might have their own copper mines.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a stretch, but we're working that way, I guess.
I'm gonna show you guys this before I say goodbye. So this was the stuff Mike was talking about in the back. I'll leave you with that.
All right.
I'm either going to get a really good shot here, or I'm gonna shoot my camera. Let's try. Badass. Mickey with CarryTrainer.com.